Perfect. So, hello, good morning. I'm glad to see you all gathered here for the fifth, I'm some years ago, for the seventh Creative Classroom Group and Conference dedicated your Saturday to listen interesting presentations on the annual theme of the e-twinning on media literacy. As you all know, according to what it is written in the Twitter by the European Commission, there has never been a more urgent need for an internet free of false or misleading information than during the coronavirus pandemic. And as we all know, this year, 2021, e-twinning focuses on two sides of the same coin: media literacy on the one side and how to tackle the phenomenon of disinformation and fake news on the other. All these things are written in the e-twinning page, but I would like to remind you all these things because we have a little surprise somehow during the day. It was made clear during 2020, the year of the corona pandemic, that the exposure of citizens to disinformation is a major challenge, not only for adults, but also for the students. The European Commission's Media Literacy for All Preparatory Action to 2020 describes media literacy as an umbrella expression that includes all technical, cognitive, social, civic and creative capacities that allow citizens to access the media, to have a critical understanding of them and to interact with them. Focus on this. Disinformation is understood as verifiably false or misleading information that is created, presented and disseminated for economic gain or to intentionally deceive the public and may cause public harm. e-twinning has been promoting media literacy since its birthday in 2005. By focusing on the integration of digital tools in the everyday life of teachers and students. Social emphasis has been given to digital citizenship with the aim of fostering students' awareness and responsibility in using digital tools. Areas covered by e-twinning include digital literacy, digital and intellectual rights and responsibilities, digital security and data protection, digital law and etiquette, digital accessibility and digital communication. As you have already seen in 2021, e-twinning promotes media literacy and tackles disinformation via many activities, from professional development opportunities to online events and conferences, from communication campaigns and publication to featured articles on the portal. There is a dedicated group with the name Media Literacy and Disinformation. Let me post the link here in the chat box, and you can join if you are not already members. Here is the link of the new group on media literacy and disinformation. You can find there a lot of material to study, videos to watch, ideas to get inspired. There is also the spring campaign on how to be smart online, and you can find it also there, and related information, and of course a lot of activities. There is also a group with the name Bringing E-Safety into e-twinning projects, and let me share the link with you. In case you are not still a member of this group, you can join and find resources to teach your students on how to bring in safety to our e-twinning projects. There is also Friends of e-twinning, the lie detectors project. Let me share the link in the chat box. As you may know, lie detectors is an award-winning project that aims to turn school children into powerful lie detectors and critical thinkers of e-twinning. And of course, there is the Creative Classroom group, where you can find a lot of activities. Creative Classroom and the annual theme, how the group is connected to. As you may know, from the beginning of this year, we launched the group campaign with a related page dedicated on media literacy and disinformation. There is a fruitful discussion, forum discussion on how do you teach your students to think critically on news headlines. And of course, there is a creative activity with teachers and students, fact or fiction. A newspaper, newspapers, you can see there newspapers and with fake and real news. And let me share the link with the Padlet. Well, at the beginning, there was a deadline until the end of February. But as I watched there, there is a need, an urgent need for all of you to post there the creations that you do with your students even these days. So feel free to post the posters there and feel free to participate in the discussion in the forum. And of course, there is a related page on media literacy and disinformation, where you can find all these important information. As you can see here, we have the discussion in forum and the posters that students already created with their teachers. And I would like, before starting all the presentations of this 7th Unconference, to reflect on what do you think about media literacy and disinformation. Let me share the link with you, and you can start writing there by adding just a sticky note. Here it is, the link. And you have about 5 minutes to start posting there. What do you think about media literacy and disinformation? How can Creative Classroom support you in understanding what is the topic and what kind of activities do you plan this year with your students? I will connect with the idea boards and see what you are writing. Just give me a second and feel free to add your ideas and your opinions there. Okay. I will stop this presentation for the moment and share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Not for the moment. Okay, we will see them after the presentations. You can go on writing there. And let's start with the first part. Okay. And I think that Apostolia Mama, who is the first presenter, she's from Greece, and she's going to talk to us about fact or fake, distinguishing misinformation and disinformation and evaluating sources of information with a critical eye for false or incomplete information. Let me find Apostolia here and give her the rights to present. Okay, Apostolia, you can open your microphone and your camera. I cannot see you as a presenter. Um, Are you able to open your microphone and your camera, Apostolia? Because I cannot hear you. Asi, maybe is there a technical problem? No problem, but I cannot hear you. Okay, we have to Asi, can you open the microphone for Apostolia? Is it possible for you? Yeah, me too. I cannot see. I cannot do it because I don't have the rights for the moment. Anyway, give me a second. Okay, go on. Sorry for the delay.
Yes, right, thank you. All right, don't worry about it. Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today as I consider media literacy a key 21st century skill that unlocks meaning behind the messages we see, and educating students on the issue is an important, though challenging task, I think. Let me start my presentation entitled Fact or Fake that involves classroom work done within the frame of our e-twinning project, Digital EU and You, that runs throughout this school year.
Just sorry for the interruption. Can you open your your camera and start sharing your camera? Is it possible?
Yes, yes, of course. I have tried to, but I don't know why it doesn't start.
Okay, no worries.
Yes, I'm clicking on my camera. It doesn't work. I don't know. I don't have the right. I just click on start my webcam, but I don't have the right, I think.
You can go on and I will do it.
Can you
Don't
check
worry.
it, or you want me to go on? All right. So I was talking about the project Digital EU and You that runs throughout the school year, and as you can see on the first slide, these activities have been produced to provide students with the necessary skills to navigate the potential hazards of fake news and media manipulation. Our learning intention is to understand what fake news is and identify strategies for differentiating real and fake news. As you can see on the next slide, before classwork, just a minute, to the next slide. Yes, I think this is, oh, just a minute. Yes, I'm here. Okay, so before classwork, students have to do some online search and draw distinctions between misinformation and disinformation. I provide the links to search for the definitions, and they also reflect on prior knowledge by answering a few questions on the idea board I have shared with them. To get them start thinking critically. For instance, what is the incentive behind fake news? Is it money, power, a wish to become known and draw attention, or what? A sample of their responses can be seen on the next slide. I hope you can see it on this slide. And as you can see, they are encouraged to express their views on what causes a of information to go viral, or if it's easy to spot fake news. Their ideas are collected and discussed in class through our warm-up discussion, and then materials are provided to help students evaluate information. By that, I mean checklists that have been designed to determine if information sources are credible. You can see an example on the next slide, but just a minute. You can see an example of, yes, this is a checklist on how to spot fake news and the information sources. But of course, there are many more trustworthy checklists for students to follow. And they can also make their own checklists. So we move on to slide 7. I like to begin my misinformation activities by collecting a bulletin board full of headlines. I usually post sensational ones from the internet or screenshots of inaccurate tweets or Facebook posts linking to news articles or tabloid headlines. As a class, we work through lessons on identifying fake news and ways to stop its spread and the reasons why such media is created. Students are challenged to think and spot. Actually, I can tell you there are more questions than answers, but lots of work is done. Mainly, students try to work out the points mentioned on the next slide. They check the source, and they try to see if there is important to ask questions and do research. It's also significant to bias. That I mean our tendency that some people or ideas are better than others, which often results in treating some people unfairly. I mean everyone has biases that have been developed over a lifetime, even people who try to remain objective. So we attempt to detect the subconscious biases that shape our thinking. All this discussion
there is a problem with your microphone. Apostolia, sorry for interrupting you.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting you, but there is a problem with your microphone. Can you, if you use the headsets, can you put them out and repeat again the previous slide?
Yes, okay. I'm not using any headset, so I'm just using the microphone from my laptop.
Okay.
You can't hear me properly?
For the moment, we can hear you, but it was a problem earlier. So can you repeat this slide, please?
Yes, of course. Thank you. These are the main points that students try to work out. I mean, they check the source first. They try to see if there is more information to come. It is important to ask questions and research, and it is significant to analyze for bias. Bias is very important. By that, I have the tendency we have that some people or some ideas are better than others, often results in treating some people unfairly. I mean, everyone has biases that have been developed over a lifetime. Even people who try to remain objective, and students themselves have biases, so we attempt to detect the subconscious biases that shape our thinking. All this discussion, of course, takes us to slide 9, this slide, which shows the results we came up with after fact-checking the breaking news. Students are encouraged to refer to the evidence they found and also practice further by creating their own fake newspaper articles, like the one you see on the next slide. So, of course, I provide the links to the fake news generator tools, and they use the checklist in reverse now to create their own breaking news. This is a very important this is very important work, and they like it a lot because there are many fake news generator tools. And of course, it's a nice introduction to artificial intelligence because they can work with machines and produce articles including sound and pictures, which are really hard to distinguish from reality. So I don't know if I have been rushing too much, but this takes me to the end of the presentation, where I suggest the extension activities you can see. Students can create their own checklist to spot fake news, use it themselves, share it with younger students. Also, the question whether media literacy should be a compulsory course at school is a hot topic for a class debate. Of course, all activities are adapted to the age group I work with, so that they are age appropriate and relevant every time. Let me finish with a quotation from George Bernard Shaw, the famous Irish playwright. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than absolutely.
Thank you so much, Apostolia.
Well,
and thank you very much for the quote that you shared with us at the end of your presentation. Be aware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. So, Apostolia, we had some technical problems. At least I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear you very well. I don't know if it was my computer that makes these gaps with your microphone, and I don't know if the other participants could hear you very well, but I would like to stop here in these extension activities that are the criteria checklist and peer teaching and class debate. Apostolia, I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you very well. I don't know what is happening with the Adobe Connect or your microphone. At least I have a problem. So I'm repeating the criteria, the extension activities, the peer teaching and the class debate, the debate that you are going to do with your students. And of course, the one that is here, beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. So do you have any questions? Yeah, the sound was bad. Do you have any questions regarding Apostolia's presentation? You can post the questions here in the chat box, and maybe later it will be better. I cannot hear you very well. So thank you, Apostolia, and I see very good comments here in the chat box. Thank you very much. So let's go to the next presentation, and Marika MS Chimbean, and the project Digital EU. Marika is going to present us the twinning project Digital EU We Do, a project coordinated with Heidi Gaze, in which they teach gymnasium students media literacy, emphasizing the dangers and consequences of fake news. During the presentation, there will be also shared a few examples from the activities as a European Parliament Ambassador School that Marika School is on raising awareness and educating youngsters on the topic. Let me find Marika here and give her the rights for the microphone and the camera, of course. Okay. And Marika, you are now the presenter, and I will make also Heidi presenter in case she would like to talk.
Heidi is here, and I think she would be more than happy to present with me. Good morning, everyone. I really hope that my internet connection will work. I'm not home currently, but I wouldn't have missed the chance to discuss with you about this very important topic. I mean, digital education, media literacy are very, very important nowadays. Since our students are learning online, since they had to develop new skills. The main project I want to present to you is Digitally You Will Do. This is the title of the project. I think Heidi is here too, and I would be happy if she pops in and then helps me with the presentation. This is the second year we are working together. Thank you very much. I don't know what happened. I just lost the microphone, right. I was telling you that this is the second year of collaboration, and we are truly teaching our students how to spot fake news, how to discover, and how to react, and how to collaborate with the others online. Since it was very important for us to teach them about online privacy, we decided this time, because the students wanted this, to let them express themselves as they want. So this year we don't have presentations with their faces. This year we have presentations with their shoes or with their footsteps, because they wanted to be more confident and safe in working this way. Also, they established the netiquette we will be using for this project, and of course we were using newspaper generator as well, and I was so proud of, so grateful for having the idea before from our colleague. We try to use only those apps and only those applications that were safe in Germany. So therefore we try to find different video conference tools. For instance, we use the big blue button for working together in groups. Let me just tell you that this year, since Romanian school was learning online, the main activities of our project were based on tutorials. Both Heidi and myself filmed for our students many tutorials to help them get through the project, to help them complete their tasks. Here you can see an image from our logo voting, which was done during a video conference. And another tool that we were using, because we really wanted to have the safe but the common classroom picture, we discovered, Heidi discovered this year Pixton, and we are so proud for working with this, because students really love it. You have here our class picture, our collaborative class picture. We have 66 students working in Pixton class and on eTwinning. Obviously, we are working in international teams. You can see that we divided them according to their hobbies and passions. And this is a screen capture from one of our teams. They work in the forum. They collaborate and create their fake stories using ZoomPad, and obviously they give a life to them on Pixton. Here you can see a few images we just have in the Pixton classroom. Basically, they are discussing together in their groups, and they are creating different kind of fake news, so that to raise awareness about the importance of knowing what fake news is, of spotting fake news, and most important, of not sharing anything that can harm others online or face to face. So this was the idea of our project. I'm really happy for collaborating with Heidi. I hope that maybe at the end or whenever she feels like, if she is around, she can pop in and add her ideas. And what's more important, the students really like this topic because it's connected to what they experimented this year of pandemics. And I think that, and I hope that this will make them digitally smarter than before. In our school, there are other projects related to media literacy and fake news. With the Erasmus team, with the high school Erasmus team, we are working on identifying fake news related to tourism, because the topic of this project is tourism. And it goes really well, and it's interesting, and we are very thankful for all the resources Europe eTwinning has given through the annual campaign team, because we try to adapt them and use them in our project. With our amazing Eco Heritage Matters team, we are working on topics like bullying. It's very important to students to meet online. So therefore, we have a video conferencing, video
I don't know if you hear Marika, we lost her. And Heidi, can you open your microphone and continue you?
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Okay, Heidi, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not very in this kind of project, Eco Heritage Matters, but Emisha presented very well our actual project, and it's great to work with her because she has so many ideas, and her students worked very hard with my students on the topic, and they met, and the meeting was it was a great experience to have them in groups working. And for us in our school, our internet connection is so bad, and as at the moment we are working all at home for the COVID-19 pandemic, we finally had our video conference without problems, because at home our internet is better than in our schools. So this was for us a great experience to have finally some real video conference working. It was a great time. And yeah, I don't know what to say about this project, but they are working. Yeah.
I cannot see Marika a message in the participants, so maybe she lost the connection. I don't know if she has something else to present. Yes, she has, but maybe we would give her the chance later on to finish her presentation, because I cannot find her. Maybe she popped out of the meeting room. Because of the internet connection. Anyway, we can go on with the next presentation, and you can come and speak later about it. Okay, Heidi.
Yes,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. And yesterday I saw the comics that your students have created, and it was amazing. And I intend to present them to my students, because they are coping also with the Pixton making comics this period. And let's see how they are going to react. Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's go. I think that Marika has a lot to present, but she's not here for the moment, and I think that she deserves a second chance later on to finish her presentation. And let's move forward to Helga Kralic and Ankita Saric from Croatia, and they are going to present us the project Spotting Fake News Workshop. They are going to present activities that the students are encouraged to do, both at school and at home, and to develop critical thinking and create their own checklist to spot fake news. Let me find Helga and Ankita, and open her microphone. Okay. Helga, you have the rights now.
Thank you. Hello. Hi. We're together.
And also, hello. You are together.
Yes, we are. Simpler.
Okay. Hello.
Okay.
So, yes, of course. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. So we are Ankica and Helga. Hello from Croatia. We've been teaching and working together for 16 years, but I'd say that the interesting part of our story began 5 years ago when we got introduced to Erasmus and e-twinning. And we focus on new teaching methodologies and developing both soft and hard skills. Today we'll be talking about a smaller scale project, but we feel it is very important. Are we moving?
You have the rights, you can turn the slides. Yes,
okay.
You can move the slides.
Okay, thank you.
From the arrows. Okay, perfect.
So I think this is very similar with most, schools around Europe. Our favorite innovative method was PBL, or still is PBL, and ICT-based learning, simply because our students really respond well to them, and we also find them very effective. There's some knowledge left behind. Since this was a PBL-based project, smaller scale project, as Helga said, there are certain steps that needed to be followed. So the first step that we started with was coming up with a driving question, which is always, as you know, open-ended question. In our case, that's how to spot real and fake news. And this topic connected with media literacy was very, or is always very interesting to our students, so we had no problems getting our students interested in the topic. We wanted our students to develop, as Helga mentioned, some basic skills like language, English language skills, since both of us are English teachers, and ICT skills, as well as transversal or soft skills. So to be more precise, we wanted to develop their critical thinking by doing online research on the topic, and they had to make their own checklists for spotting fake news, so critical thinking was needed there as well. We wanted them to develop their creativity by designing posters and Google Slides, which you're going to see later on. And we, in the end, wanted, of course, them to develop their English language skills by using signpost language when presenting in front of the class.
So we'll walk you through the activities in this project. Raising awareness of the importance of spotting fake news was, of course, the main goal here. However, we also work very hard in our teaching that our students learn how to provide quality argumentation as well. Because in their final exam, they are asked to write a pro and against essay, which requires them to be able to give arguments, but also to develop them on a quality level. In this project, the first step was to research online materials on media literacy and fake news. You know that there is a lot of information on this topic online, and we need to give them some guidelines on what to research and how to approach the topic. Okay? So that they don't end up being overwhelmed by all the information available. The next step was studying the ways of spotting the fake news. Again, they will find online a bunch of information or a bunch of steps how to recognize the fake news, but they had to choose the ones that work for them. So they had to go step by step in deciding if a piece of information is fake or real, and then choose at least 4 criteria that would work for them. Once they had their own list of how to spot fake news, they had to apply this list. They had to find 4 pieces of the news that after their criteria were applied were proved to be wrong. They had to present these criteria and examples of the fake news they found on a poster. We try to give them the choice of using a digital poster or maybe hand-drawn, because we feel it's important for them to have the feeling of having the choice, but also some of them are very good in drawing, and some of them prefer digital way of expressing themselves. So they have the choice between the two. In class, they had to prepare their poster presentations. In this part, we also give them some guidelines. We want them to use the signpost language. We want them to be careful of the linkers, of their body language, and so on. So we had them practice presenting in the classroom as well. Because when the presenting starts in the classroom, they are encouraged for active listening, so they have to listen and take notes, for example. We'll come to it later. But we also recorded them while they were presenting, because this was very important for the self-assessment part.
Okay, and the last activity in the project was designing a slide as a part of Google Slides for the whole project. Each pair had a task to design their own slides with all the materials they have created. So this was important to us. You know, we kind of teach them to use their own materials. We want them to be aware of, you know, not stealing from others. You know, it's stealing if you steal online as well. So I think we've done a pretty good job. These are fourth graders who did this. So their Google Slides had their own images of their own posters of themselves, or maybe Bitmojis, because they want to include themselves there as well. And also there were QR codes of the recording of them presenting in front of the class. As Helga mentioned, they were supposed to take notes. The assessment, peer assessment that we designed for them, and which they like because it's not too complicated, is 2 stars and a wish. They had to find out 2 things that they really like about certain presentation, and 1 thing that they feel could be improved, or they had an idea how to improve it, make it a little bit better. And you probably remember that we are talking about it throughout the presentation. This was a PBL project, and final 2 steps include result, tangible end result, and dissemination. We find that students really love having end results. So they have the feeling this is what we worked for. In our case, we presented their end results, their PowerPoint presentations on Google Slides, their video recordings on YouTube. We presented all of this on our school's webpage. We presented it in Croatian national platforms, edutore and skole.hr, and also they presented it on the national TV, TV Zapad. They talked about their project, and they were pretty happy about it, especially since other students came up to them and asked them questions, as well as teachers. So they had a feeling they have accomplished something. So I think, Helga, this is all we wanted to say about our project. We are very grateful that you let us present it. It's not a big project, but we are kind of proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, for being here with us and presenting these wonderful ideas. There was, apart from the congratulations that you received in the chat box for the great presentation and the great project that you developed, there is a question about how old are the students, your students, and you wrote that they are at the age of 17 to 18. I would like to pose the question here. Is this project, or are these activities of course possible to be adapted in the ages of 10 to 12 or 12 to 15 years old?
So I just posted the link for the video that we converted at the presentation there.
Unfortunately, I cannot hear you, Helga. It is not possible to hear you and understand you. Helga, could you please write it in the chat box? And I would like to thank you very much for being here and presenting your ideas and your activities. And let's go on to Snezana Kovacevic. She's from Croatia and she's responsible for an Erasmus project, which says being to be presented here. Responsible Digital Natives is an Erasmus project which started in 2020, last year, with partner schools from Croatia, Spain, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland and Turkey. Through the project, pupils will learn how to use the internet in a safe way, how to evaluate online resources, how to be safe online, how to avoid digital addiction and spend their free time outside without devices. So let me find in the participants Snezana and give her the rights to present her work. Okay, Snezana, the floor is yours. I will stop sharing my camera. And you can open your camera and microphone.
I'm here. Hello.
Perfect.
Great. So
we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. So
start sharing your camera and go on.
I shared it. Can you see me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we can start. First of all, I would like to present the project. I will talk about, and of course, I greet everyone on this conference today. Our project is called Responsible Digital Natives, and we started to work on it in September 2020. As you can see, we are 6 schools partners from Croatia, Spain, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, and Turkey. And the aims of the project are directly connected to this year's topic of media literacy and disinformation, and they are the ability for kids to use the internet in a safe way, to evaluate online sources, and to develop critical opinion and media literacy, of course. We teach them to avoid digital addiction, then to spend their free time outside without devices, and teach them how to develop 21st century skills. So far, we managed to do all planned activities in first year because we work online on e-twinning, and our twin space of the project is very active. We disseminated the project in our schools and in media. We celebrated Erasmus Days in October with robotics and similar activities, and we had cultural activities where pupils participated in online activities and meetings, as well as teachers, and that was very interactive. We had Spanish and Turkish Day, where pupils explored about partner countries using digital technology in safe digital environment by using different sources online, and we taught them where to find those sources and what to do with them when they find them. Next, teachers had training. We had a webinar on digital addiction held by an expert from Spain, and pupils cooperated on Padlet, talking about good and not so good sides of the internet, and they made very clear, clever inputs, and they showed that they are aware of all bad sides of the internet, and that they can use it in safe way if they follow some tips and rules. You can see a posters they made. One poster is here. They made about 5 tips for e-safety, and we talked about it, and then they exchanged their opinions. So I can say that they understand all good and not so good sides of the internet. Also, they made digital posters, and we used robots in coding and had a lot other creative activities. We also teach them that they spend their quality time outside with their families without devices, of course. And through this project, I hope they will learn the importance of using the internet on responsible way, and use the devices in appropriate and safe way. Cooperation of partners in the future. This project will last next year, of course. We still have to do mobilities. I hope they will take action considering the situation. Our next activities are, as you can see, cooperative activities in exchanging our mostly used web pages, to talk about social media and their influence on us, to talk about cyberbullying, fake news and how to spot them. Also here you can see infographic made by International Federation of Library Associations. Since I work in school libraries, so I always use this infographic when I work with kids. It is how to spot fake news, and we go step by step using this poster to make them clear what to do when they are online. Also, we included the topic of media literacy and disinformation in our projects, not only this one, but our other projects and activities. And I created an activity, Cyber Detectives, where pupils will search for some information online and teach about media and media literacy. As you can see, we still have a lot to do. So far, we did a lot, but we still have a lot to do, and I hope we will be productive as we were till now. At the end, I would like to share in the chat this evaluation form. So please, I need to show it to my Ministry of Education. If you have time, it's only a few questions for evaluation of this of my presentation. And thank you for your time. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Snezana, for presenting us your brave Erasmus project, because you are brave enough to start the project, an Erasmus project, inside the pandemic situation. Things are very difficult for all of us. We all know it, and we all know that we are like an accordion, coming back to school on the teaching remotely and back to school and teaching remotely, and this is very difficult for the students to follow us and follow the activities. But you have done a lot the previous period. Yeah, congratulations. And I would like to and I would like to ask you to fill in the evaluation form that Snezana posted in the chat box. I will remind you later on for her presentation, and let you know that this 7th Creative Classroom Group Unconference is being recorded, and all the recordings and the presentations that the participants have made today, or they will do it later on, they will be uploaded in the dedicated page in the Creative Classroom group. So, thank you very much, Snezana, and let's go on to Christina Iuliatila from Romania. Christina is going to present us disinformation and history. Propaganda and misinformation have been found in history since ancient times. The presentation wants to highlight the importance of critical analysis of information during classes to prevent false news and promote European values. The training project mapping the milestones of Free Europe offers ways to analyze information and make comparisons using press articles. Let me find Christina and give her the rights to present her project. Okay, Christina, the floor is yours. You can open your microphone and your camera as well. Is everything okay with you, Christina? Maybe, no, we cannot hear you. Check out if your microphone has been activated.
Hello, now? Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Perfect, yes, perfect. You can switch on your camera.
Yes. Yes. Now?
Okay. Start sharing and everything will be fine. You have the time, no worries.
Okay. Okay. Now?
It needs, I suppose, some time, but you can start. You can start.
Okay.
We cannot see
I don't know
but
why
you can start.
I opened the camera, but I don't know why it isn't work properly.
No worries. You can start.
Hello. Happy to be here with you. I am also a history teacher and the Twinning Ambassador. I like to be here and present this great topic because I think this is linked very well with history lessons in the classroom. We start my presentation today. Ask what it is disinformation, because I think it is a great question for us. So first of all, sorry, where can I open my presentation? Oh, yes, here, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
No?
No worries.
No? No, I don't think so. It is here.
Perfect. Just give me a second.
No.
Christina, give me a second and I will fix it for you, okay?
Yes, sorry.
No worries.
So, according to the dictionary, mean false or misleading information that is spread deliberately to deceive. The disinformation and propaganda have a huge impact on democracy and human rights and the rule of law. The impact of disinformation and propaganda on human rights is divided into main categories: impact of data protection, privacy, human dignity, and also a violation of the rights of freedom of expression and the right to seek and receive information, especially in different countries where totalitarianism is present. Sometimes digital platforms used for disinformation operation, especially in the 21st century, are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and example of disinformation was one example is the disinformation campaign targeting U.S. voters before 2016 in presidential election. This was the first case when the global public had to face the enormous scale of online disinformation and propaganda. Another case was in UK in 2016 when a referendum on leaving the EU. It was another one.
Do you want me to change the slides for you? Christina, do you want me to change the slides for you?
Yes, please.
Okay,
yes,
here
please.
it is.
I don't know.
Is it okay now?
No, I can't see.
This is the slide for the examples of fake news.
The second.
No,
yes,
examples of fake news throughout history.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Throughout history, we encounter disinformation since ancient times. Those first case is that of the Roman Emperor Augustus, who built a disinformation campaign against his opponent Mark Antonius Antonius during the civil war in 63 before Christ. The intervention, another example is the invention of the printing press led to mass distribution and sales of printed materials regardless of their sources. Sometimes in 1780s, the opinion pushed content designed to manipulate public opinion. Another example is in the First World War when several newspapers, the presentation?
Yes, the presentation has gone, but let me see you because there are some technical issues about,
okay.
Yes, I stopped sharing and do it again, but I don't know what is happening.
Okay.
Give me a second, with the recording, and Christina, you can see now the third slide.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
click
yes.
on, or if you want, I can click on the slides for you.
No, I can do it now. I think it is
Perfect.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. In the First World War, several newspapers from official sources claimed that members of German military were extracting fat from dead soldiers to make soap, food, or for animals. After 10 years, a British general confirmed that he made this story, so it is a fake news. Another example of disinformation was in the communist estates. One example was from Moscow. The communist leader used disinformation to discredit their enemies like USA and also the church. Disinformation was used to falsify data about the situation of population during the Great Famine of 1932-1933, when millions of innocent people died. So one correspondent in Moscow from New York Times, Walter Duranty, write a lot of news in newspapers. He minimized hunger as trifles and said you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. Conditions are bad, but there is no famine. He wrote in a dispatch from Moscow in March 1933 describing the mess of collectivization. So that was another example of fake news. Because we know it, a lot of people died in 1932-1933 in Ukraine. Another example, the Pope Francis condemned disinformation in 2016 in an interview after being made the subject of a fake news website which falsely claimed that he supported Donald Trump. Pope Francis had denounced fake news as evil, comparing it to the snake in the Garden of Eden, and urged to make in their mission the journalists to search for the truth. I don't know what happened because Aranzazu asked if is something wrong.
No, I can see the presentation, and I turn on to your next slide. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Beginning from that, we advise our students in our lessons in classroom, and especially in our e-twinning project about new news. Don't believe everything you read. Check the facts with reliable sources. Be skeptical of sensational facts. A project, an e-twinning project, developed between 2019-2020 with partners from Slovakia and Czech Republic was mapping the milestones of Free Europe. it is a project with which discuss about the importance of freedom and also about a revolution in 1989 and beginning of democracy in our countries. So our aims was to reflect on responsible and active citizenship to make progress in mutual understanding of the vision of better world, its better present and future. Learn from historical sources, action, research, and getting information about the 1989 revolution in Europe. Improve civic and personal competencies, also digital competencies and English competencies. My students love working in twinning projects about this topic, about totalitarianism, democratic revolutions, and to collaborate with other students from other countries. Students used different ICT tools and created different videos about our collaborative work in teams with our partners. We have also some activities related with this subject about disinformation, propaganda, and fake news. One example was study in international groups this video and create simple mind maps about democracy. A mind map helps you to organize your thoughts. Another task was brainstorm and discuss what means democracy for you and express your ideas in tool Web 2.0 Answer Garden. Another task was learn more about democracy and use these learning apps. You can see our example. Another activity was before March, before coronavirus. My students went to History Museum in my city, in Constanța, and also our partners in their cities, and they visit an exhibition about Romania in the totalitarian regime. They discuss with our historian specialist, and they analyze different newspapers, analyze printing press during the communist regime. They read and search for words describing the policy of centralization, planning during the communist period, as well as the measures adopted that influence the lives of everyday citizens. Another activities was read the article about Romanian Revolution. They analyze if it is real or fake news, because in 1989 a lot of papers publish a lot of information, but you don't know if they are really facts or fake news. So they read and then check the web domain, identify the author, identify the central message, assess spelling, grammar, and punctuation, analyze sources and codes, find other articles on this topic. Another great activities was using Pigstone, create in 3 international groups the comic about the journey to democracy. They create different stories about that. And another activity was to discuss these issues and support your critical thinking in this Web 2.0 tool, Chialo. Results. We created a web page of the project, presented the project to the public, schoolmates, parents, people in the hometown, other schools, local newspapers. This is our web page. And thank you for all your support and for
thank you so much,
attention.
Christina. Yeah, thank you so much. Your presentation was great, and apologies for the inconvenience related to the technical issues. There are no questions as far as I can see in the chat box, but feel free to add in the chat box the link of the website that you created to upload all the inspiring activities that you have done. I would like now, since Marika Mesa-Simbeani is with us, to go back and let her finish her presentation. Denise, I think that we can give her some minutes. Just let me open her.
Everything is perfect now. Thank you very much for the opportunity of
Marika,
finishing the presentation. Actually, I did finish it for last time. I just didn't know that you are not there. So please remain with the video open so that I have a feedback.
Okay.
I was telling you that digital literacy, that media literacy is a concern, and we try to discuss about it in every project we have. And I think that I was telling you that in our Erasmus Eco Heritage project, in Eco Heritage Matters project, we are organizing online video conferences. This one was about bullying. We try to teach our students to behave in a good manner online, and to respect each other, and to speak up for themselves. This was the main message I wanted to tell you about it. And also, I know that my friend Imen we talked today about Green Behavior Code. It's a project in which we are trying to teach the students the importance of ecology, and also we try to teach them how to behave online, how to create online content, but how to create online content that is not harmful for others. So you can see here a few images taken from our forums, in which the students had to reflect on the news to discover if it's fake news, if it's misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, and just to discuss about the importance of researching and not spreading fake news online, and not spreading fake news face to face either. So I think that's the most important, that's the most powerful message, a green behavior code online and face to face, because it's important for us to learn how to respect each other. Because Christina was talking about the importance of history, let me just remind you that we can teach media literacy. It doesn't matter what subject we are teaching. I was just thinking that in our books of our Times project, for instance, we are choosing books that emphasize role models. This month, my students and our students are reading Between Shades of Grey, and we are trying to teach them to discover what's the truth and what's behind the news that were spread in that time, and how important it is for people to always double check. And then this is true for history as well, and for reality we live in today, because fake news are invading us today with coronavirus and pandemics and all. And a last thing that I intended to tell you is that we are really welcoming anyone who is willing to join in our EU Connections project. We are running it with our European Parliament Ambassador School junior ambassadors, and we are just We are just building hope and searching for words of wisdom and trying to build a new, a better world in these hard times. And as a final word, I just want to tell you all that I am happy for being an e-twinner, because I don't know what would have done in pandemics if I wouldn't have had all the resources and all the knowledge I have from European Schoolnet. So when pandemics came, my students knew how to work online, had the skills, and it was really, really helpful. And the fact that today almost everybody had connection problems and almost everybody came here and helped us reinforces the fact that we are a living and collaborative and amazing twinning European family. And I want to thank you all for that and for all that I have learned from you during these years. Looking forward to the next presentations.
Thank you so much, Marika Messer-Simberan, being with us here today, despite the problems that we face, the technical problems we face today with the Adobe Connect. No worries. There are a lot of other problems that we can cope with, but the internet connection is something that we can handle. So thank you. It was great having you here, and of course all the twinning family. And this is the point that we can rely on each other. That this is something that e-twinners can do it in a most wonderful way. So let's go on to Harmony Land. When everything around us is so changeable because of the pandemic and disinformation, we create an harmony land where you can live in harmony. So during the project, the teachers and the students focus on guessing fake and real media news, be aware and suspicious about media contents, highlight safe websites for kids, protect students from addiction, cultivate cultural and critical thinking, and focus on students' well-being. I think Denise Tokatliou from Turkey is here with us to present the project. Let me see. This is a project that I developed with Denise, and I thought that it would be nice for us to present it. And Denise, you are the presenter now. You can open your microphone and camera and start turning the slides and your presentation.
Hello. Okay, perfect. Hello, dear creative e-twinners. I'm glad to see you all together. Hello.
Denise, could you please fix the microphone?
Angeliki. And I have some problems about my camera, so
I cannot hear you.
My camera doesn't work with Adobe Connect. I don't know what is the... Yes? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
It's better now.
Okay. Hello, e-twinners.
Yes.
Is it
yes,
everything is all right?
Hear you, yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yes, I was talking about my camera.
Yes, everything is okay. You can go on.
My camera doesn't work, so I will continue with my microphone, okay? Thank you very much for your time. Okay, our project is Harmony Land. Yes, when everything around us is so changeable because of the pandemic and misinformation, of course, we create an harmony land where you can live in a harmony. During the project, yes?
Denise? If you are using headsets, Denise, please turn them off.
Is it all right now?
Put them out. Maybe it is a problem with your microphone.
Can you?
Well, apologies for the inconvenience today with the technical issues, but it is because of the Adobe Connect.
Is it okay now?
So here we are. Denise?
I am selecting the one.
Okay,
can you hear
we
me
can
now?
go on to Yana Tsukinkova and then, no, to Athanasia Zafiropoulou, and then we will come back to Denise again. Apologies, and let me go on. Athanasia, I suppose you are here today. Athanasia, okay, she's here. Athanasia,
good morning.
You can open your microphone.
Everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you. I'm opening my camera now. Okay, I think you can see me.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Okay.
Yes. Yes, Athanasia is going to present us. She's from Greece, and she's going to present us collaborative activities in ongoing e-twinning projects.
Good
So
morning.
the floor is yours,
I
Athanasia.
am an ICT teacher in Greece, and I have the opportunity to embed e-twinning in my curriculum. So all my classes actually participate in a variety of e-twinning projects, and I will present you today the activities we have in these projects. They are ongoing activities in media literacy and fake news. The approach is like this. As water is vital for life, info and news are vital for life in society. So as we have checkpoints for the water, starting from the source and coming to the consumption and sharing, it is the same about the news. We have to know our sources and where to find them. We have to know how to evaluate and judge information, and know how and when to I think I have a problem with the slides. Somebody has turned the slides.
No, please don't turn the slides. Please, please, please don't turn the slides. I think that it is Denise. Denise, let's leave Athanasia to finish her presentation. Then we can go to yours. Okay, so here we are.
Yes, and we have to know how and when to use information. So we have sources, checkpoints, and these points were extensively explained from in the previous presentations. For consuming, we have to check validity, bias, and aim, asking questions, and for sharing, to have the responsibility and to be aware that what we share accounts in our digital footprint. We have to check the validity, and we have to be ready for the format we use according to the audience and the aim we have when we share things. We have to be conscious that when sharing, we have to know why and when and to whom we share what. And the ability to think critically about information is essential to evaluating its reliability and relevance. We schedule activities in these e-twinning projects and we implement them in our classes with the aim our students to become better news consumers, responsible news producers, and trained critical thinkers, which will contribute to their future role as digital citizenship. So we have this main axis, and you see these 5 e-twinning projects and where they contribute. In the Media Academy in Your Hands, which is a project dedicated in media literacy, and we focus on training our students as professionals journalists. We started with the types of media from the traditional paper printed media to TV and radio and to internet. And after a short survey, we identified that our students get their news mainly from their friends and from social media and the web. And their interest is about their hobbies and music and social networks. So we had to focus on the web. We started with what is fake news and how can we distinguish them from disinformation and misinformation. We have used fact sheets and we have extensively brainstorming in class about fake news and disinformation, and our students come up with their feedback, creating posters and their own fact sheets. Of course, we have focused on the main questions. We needed them to realize that when they read something, they must ask themselves and take a minute, step back before taking action, before sharing or before commenting. This is a screenshot from my students working in a shared Google slide. We are in online classes in Greece, and this is not really easy when we work on in ICT. And we have here their feedback, as I said before, in posters and in their own fact sheets. In Media Academy, after the basic training, as I showed you before, we have the final stage before become producers, to have a bad news vaccination. This is a very good game. You can have the link on the presentation, and it is an active link. You can use it. This game asks from our students to become bad and try to mislead people, misinformate people, and have as many followers as possible. And that way they understand how the people that create fake news on purpose work. They get their, they dive into their tricks, and this way they are enabled to identify what tricks they are used, and also how to avoid them. Before become a producer, of course, you have to know the copyright issues, and this is very important in a project like Yin Yang, where which is based in images, and we have a lot of images from the web, and we needed our students to know how to use their sources in a responsible way, with reference to the source, with what is legal to use, even though they were not really conscious about these issues. So after using fact sheets that we have also used in eTwinning Train project, students created a video and to disseminate what they have learned so far. Critical thinking and digital literacy is expressed also in a nice way through comics. And this was the case in the Ideas project, where students come up with subjects that we had not really trained them to do. It is from their own initiative and according to their interest. Bullying online is a hot topic, and I am very glad that my students have expressed themselves this way. Also, talking with their family and to be able to help older people in their family how to use media is also a very good aspect of the sessions we had in class. Another issue that I was not really ready to see is what they do when they share their data, their personal data, trying to download a game or to be registered on a game. It is very important to understand what they share, where, and in what way, and what is the possible risks they have. And of course, there's a reference in COVID that is nowadays a hot issue, what we can trust of what we read. As a producers, in Eratosthenes project, we have asked our students to impersonate Eratosthenes, to create an account in Twitter, and trying to make some posts, some tweets as Eratosthenes. If Eratosthenes had a Twitter account today, what we would expect him to post? This is a very good, hard activity for our students because they have to think like him, and also they have to find resources that are true. When Eratosthenes posts a map that he has created, it has to be that map. Or when he talks about Archimedes, they had to check that Archimedes was really a friend of Eratosthenes, and they had to find out what was the method that he has the reference in this tweet. Also, in a forum, when we start answering in the topics that are scientific, but they are connected to their daily life, like the first one, or the third one, the Earth rotates upon herself from west to east in 23 hours and 56 minutes. And is this true or false? What is your opinion? They have to behave like scientists, to check the sources and answer according to their sources. And this is also a very nice activity, a very interesting game about filter bubbles. Filter bubbles are information bubbles that are created throughout the personalization of the internet. They called also trackers. They collect data and information that users leave behind. The data collected are used to create profiles which enable algorithms to create and present personalized information, and that way the user's interests are permanently mirrored on the web, and the information which does not correspond to their interest is isolated. The interactive test that we have presented to our students was adapted in Google Slide. We have not used the original format, but we have created a new test in Google Slide, and the aim was to enable our students to find out how deep they are stuck in a filter bubble of their own. The questions are very specific and at the same time provide instructions on how to proceed in order to burst their own filter bubbles. We need our students to know that they are responsible of their info they have. They have the power to choose their sources. Every click they do in the web is a decision, is their choice. So they have to be careful what they choose to drink, like water, and what they choose to share, to provide to the others. So they need to be a little of yin and a little of yang. Yin means be conscious, think critically, be empathetic, be polite, listen a lot, make questions, and also be young. When you find something that is interesting and valid, to share it, to be a light in the web, offering good news and good resources. And closing, I will use a quote from More Livings, the famous columnist of Times. The internet goes sideways, there's nothing hierarchical about it, and the best thing about it is also the worst thing, which is that there are no gatekeepers, actually. We are the gatekeepers of our news. So there's a whole lot of bad information, and it will sort itself out over time through us, through education, and eTwinning does a great job so far all these years, because media literacy is not a new subject. We focus this year, but it is embedded in all the projects. Thank you very much for your part.
We thank you, Athanasia, and congratulations for all these inspiring ideas that you shared with us today. We have to let the participants know that this is not only one project, but there are activities embedded in a lot of projects, aren't they?
There are 5 projects, and I started saying that as an ICT teacher, I have all my students working in eTwinning. I have many classes, and all of them work in many eTwinning projects. So we have a variety of activities, and the challenge is that we do not use the same activities and not the same resources. So one student in the same class with another one participates in different activities.
That's perfect. That's perfect, and I think that this is also the place, this Unconference is also the place, apart from the eTwinning portal and the eTwinning Twin Live, to find your future partners. Think of it. There are a lot of teachers here. For the moment, we are 101, and we are 101 possible partners for your future projects, both in primary and secondary level. So, Denise, the floor is yours for the moment. If you can open your microphone.
Hello.
Can you do... okay, perfect. Let me go back.
How is my voice this time?
Before Athanasia.
Okay, let's see.
For the moment it is okay. For the moment it is okay. I wouldn't suggest you to open your camera, although we would like to see you.
No.
I don't know if you would like to do this test. But,
it's better to continue with microphone, okay?
Okay. So, we can skip this page because we have read it.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Thank you very much for your support, Angeliki. Hello, dear creativity winners. I'm glad to see you together in this creative classroom and conference. So we have a project with Angeliki, as she mentioned before. Our project is designed activities based on well-being and media literacy. Is everything okay?
Yes. Do you want me to turn on the slides for you?
No, I can. Thank you very much. I just want
perfect.
to check it, okay? Okay. When raising our students, we should refer to their future, not our own past. So their future is a sign that a much more digitalized world will exist. So how will they decide what is right and what's wrong, what's real or what's fake, while expressing themselves in a digital world? interpreting those who express and even maintaining some or all of their profession in the digital world. So the younger the age to meet with digital media, which is a part of the digital world, the younger the age they need to raise their awareness. It's now an indispensable obligation to prepare them for the future, which is even more visible with pandemic. This is how we, teachers, Angelica and me, believed in the necessity of the Harmony Land project. So we choose the theme of the music in our project to enable each of them to be conscious media literate and to increase their harmony with their future. Because music is also a harmony of notes, isn't it? If the notes came out of an instrument incoherently, could we call them a music? It's more than the sum of the all constituent parts. Our students will be able to reach this integrity and find their own way, not only with their academic achievements, but also with the skills they have acquired for their present and future. Okay, in Harmony Land project, firstly, we dreamed and created a city called Harmony Land. In Harmony Land, everyone living here is engaged in music. Some of them compose, some write lyrics, some deal with the maintenance of musical instruments. Streets, schools, and shops' names are always music themed. We have twin characters living in the city of Harmony Land. Harmony, L, deep note, is a girl, and Landy, A, deep note, is a boy. We accompany these characters' adventures and solve their problems. Okay, our first project activities was to add our students into Twin Space page and ask them to talk about themselves. They talked about themselves, 2 right and 1 wrong ones as ice-breaking activity. Other friends, the other students, will find the fake infos about students on the forum page. And then students prepare body percussions to meet. We made their body percussions and they made ours, what they call it. You know, Greece and Turkey is working together, so we changed our body percussions and we upload everything to forum and page. And we did lots of several video conferences. Students frequently spoke at an online video conference. We used Zoom and Cisco WebEx. Lots of students play instruments like piano, violin, or guitar. During the code week, we encoded the music with the Blocky coding web. We used Blocky music. And then we prepared a pre-test about safer internet, media literacy, and disinformation. We revised the project by looking at the results and need here. We used the Google form here. And then we planned an awareness study about the media. This is like a social experiment. We prepared mixed teams for the students and gave some tests. These tests were for them to watch and note the commercials on a television channel we determined at the time. We interpreted the results in our classes, of course in the forum. We jointly prepared a student mind map in an online meeting. It was about the addiction. We used the Google for the mind map of addiction. to protect our students from the addiction. Okay, next step was, as I mentioned before, we have two characters living in the city of Harmony Land. These are twins, one a girl and one boy. The girl was introduced by Twiki. The Landy was introduced by Greek. So students and teachers created netiquette rules also. We all opened an account on Facebook. On behalf of Harmony and Landy, we have embedded these pages to TwinSpace page, so students could follow their Facebook social activities. We have prepared a common mind map about media literacy and disinformation that shows how we can distinguish between fake and real media. Our students prepared posters with real and fake news. Mutually, our students found out whether the posters were real, which one is the fake, and what is the reason of fake. They wrote everything, their suggestion to forum section. We use Interland application on the 6th Safer Internet Day. Greek students attend an event organized by the National Organization of Safer Internet, and Turkish students use güvenliçocuk.org website. Safe Internet sites for children were named. We wanted from students to use safer internet websites. Students made research about songs, science, environment, travel, movies, some topics. They uploaded their information and their screenshots to forum and page to onboard. We opened a virtual classroom in Pakistan. Our students created their own avatars and created class photos here, and we created a calendar in the Pakistan photos. We prepared a New Year celebration. It was an online meeting also. We prepared questions about the next year with the slider tool. We divided students into international groups in a Zoom breakout room. We asked questions to each group. Two students answered, and it was lots of word cloud about the next year. We created the Harmony Song Festival. The students prepared their own compositions. Other students voted. The song with the highest rating was chosen as the project song. We used GarageBand and GarageBand. Students wrote lyrics to this song jointly with acrostiche. Harmony L, this girl, and Landy A, they became famous with their songs. The teachers made a song for their characters. Our students made their characters famous. The Turkish team made Harmony, the girl, famous, and the Greek team made Landy famous. On the International Women's Day, we had an online meeting with our students. We examined the biographies of important Greek and Turkish women. Students prepare a podcast on cyberbullying and school bullying. We uploaded them to Twinboard and SoundCloud. We established a radio, Spreaker Studio radio, called Harmony Land. You can follow from Spreaker Studio. We published our song and podcast here. And what's next? Okay, sorry. We intend to design activities that will help Harmony and Landy to live in harmony, cultivating digital skills and enjoying inner peace. Okay, thank you very much for listening me. Thank you very much.
We thank you very much. We thank you very much, Denise. Despite the problems, we managed to reach the end of the presentation. So we have about 6 minutes, but we will give some time to also to Jana to present her activities in the Mauthausen's new clothes. Let me go to your presentation, Jana, and then I will find you here in the participants and make you presenter. Just give me some time. Okay, we are here, and Jana. Here you are. You are the presenter now. You can open your microphone and your camera as well.
Hello.
Can you hear us, Jana?
Yes, I try. So everything is okay. Everything is okay. So thank you for the invitation to this great
You
event.
can open your microphone,
and I would like to present you our project about fake news. It is Münchhausen's new clothes.
Okay, perfect.
And there are 4 participants in this project. This project isn't finished yet, and we have some activities to evaluate and disseminate it. Why is it so called? Fake news has not just existed since the internet and cell phones as long ago as in the 18th century. Baron Münchhausen told them as lies. So we have started our project with the story of Baron Münchhausen and tried to teach the students read and analyze everything you have read. There is a considerable variety of activities throughout the first part of the project. At first we try to teach our students analyze any information you can find in the literature and in the newspapers. Then we have a lot of activities, and you can see some samples of them. They are different quizzes, wall news, and quests. And the reasons of this project are Fake and Facts quiz during Safer Internet Day. We had an online meeting and could do this quiz all together. Then I can name Fake and Facts calendar. It was made online and then published in Ukraine. And we have sent our surprises like this calendar to our partners in different countries. The next activity was Fake and Facts quest for young learners, and my team tried to do this activity with young learners together and share the ideas about realizing what fake and facts are. And this activity was dedicated to realizing how we can avoid fakes in real life and online as well. The next one is Fake Clothes Quest. It was the second online meeting, and it was a collaborative quest of the students. We have prepared some activities with our real clothes and created labels, fake labels for them. Of course, we have created our logos, have participated in different polls, and have created different comics due to our topic. One of the reasons in this project is our fake 12-month calendar. As I have said, it was created online in Canva iTool, and all of the partners participated in this activity. Our students had to mention some fake and true facts about month of the year, and posted some pictures made by themselves. So these pictures are about Baron Münchhausen. And then we published this calendar and sent them to our partners. So the project collaboration is really very active and exciting, and we have we have been collaborating with these partners for some years ago, and these students and these teachers for a long time, and it is the main idea to collaborate with new ideas, because we know each other for a long time. So we have a logo competition, live stories, created by our students, different Menti votings about fake and facts and news, clothes, activities, fake information from newspapers and online. Of course, our students have collaborated in forums and answered different questions which are asked by their partners. Then calendar, as I have told you, fake news wall with different fake news from our students. So they had to record some videos with fake news and ask their partners to realize it and to evaluate the fakes and truth, match these videos fake or true. The next one, fake clothes online meeting. So we have prepared some quests and some news about our fake labels for real clothes, and it was a great opportunity to collaborate and to find out some fakes among our clothes. And we had an opportunity to have this meeting in two languages, German and English, and our partners from Portugal spoke only German, and our partners from Germany spoke both German and English. It was a great collaboration because we all could discuss different problems, and our students were really involved in this activity. The next one is Safe Internet Day Quest. It was great because we did it together and could realize how we can avoid fake information from internet and from newspapers and from the news. And online meeting quest was dedicated to fake stories created by our students, and we have prepared some fakes to our partners to guess. For example, my team always wear our national clothes for these events, and our partners know it. But that time we were wearing occasional clothes, and it was a kind of fake for our partners. The next one, online meetings are the most exciting and interesting activities for our students, and they all love them very much, and they could join these meetings from home and from schools because some of our partners are learning from home up to now. And evaluation and dissemination of this project is very important for us, because we have evaluation forms for teachers, for students, and for parents, and we have a lot of results, and as you can see, the results are different, but it's a great pleasure for teachers because the parents of students' parents can support their children in a twinning project, and both parents and students are involved in these activities and can collaborate with their children during these activities. And we have promoted our project in school websites, teachers' blogs, and local newspapers, and Ukrainian team had opportunity to have promoting activity. It was fake and facts quest for young learners at school. The other partners couldn't do it because they were learning from homes.
Thank you so much, Jana. Excellent, and I would like also to thank Denise very much for the previous presentation, and you both had warm comments in the chat box, but there are no questions as far as I can see. The next presentation is about the words attributed to Rumi in social media, but I would like to ask Engin, Stefania, and Imen if they have a problem to go after lunch, but as far as I can see, no. Okay, so let's go on to Engin. Engin Younes. Give me a second to make you the presenter, but I cannot see him. Engin. No, I cannot see him in the presenters, among the presenters. So let's go to Stefania. Stefania, it will be you. Are you ready? Okay, here you are. Just give me a second to go to your presentation and make you the presenter. Okay. Now you are able to open your microphone and your camera as well.
Hello, can you hear me? Great, okay. Okay, I'll start my webcam just to say hello. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be here in this great group, and I am amazed at the presentation I've heard so far, and so I will not add anything much more than that has already been said. I would just tell you what is the context of this presentation I'm introducing now. This is not a project as the amazing projects we've seen so far. This is kind of a background not only to ongoing e-twinning and Erasmus projects, but also larger projects that are held by other teachers in my school. And because fact-checking, fake news, discovering, spotting fake news, and also media literacy in general has become really a crucial part of our lives as citizens, as students as well, especially in this time of remote learning. In fact, I have started talking about how to get information years ago, and I have updated this kind of background activity several times, and so you will find some old tools and some very state-of-the-art pieces of information that I have recently added. So the first idea was to make students reflect on how we get information, and usually they don't use traditional media any longer to get information, but they are very much into social media. In fact, this is the result of the short survey I did the last time I introduced this background activity in one of my classes. In fact, they use especially Instagram to get the news. And of course, what is different between traditional and contemporary media? That there was a filter, let's say, by the media, the journalists. Their job was to collect and organize information in a way, and fake news existed at that time as well. And okay, well, just a second. Can you see me as well? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, now maybe
yes, yes, we can see you, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much. And of course now with the social media, the facts and the news spread at the same time. And I always tell my students that the first time I experienced such a way of sharing news was during the 2001 attack to the Twin Towers, which I saw live with a very slow streaming connection, but I did saw live what happened at the Twin Towers. And then, of course, there are tips for finding, detecting fake news. So double check, browse more than a single source, start learning how to use tools such as Google Advanced Search, just a few tips. And this is a very old tool, but very nice as well, to detect hoaxes. This is a web page that was designed quite a few years ago about the Pacific Northwest tree octopus. As a workshop, as an activity, I asked my students to go search this website and tell me how you can tell that this is fake, which are the fact that there are no contacts and there are no single sources. If you double check, you don't find anything like that. And so this is a starting point to talk about what are hoaxes and then fake news. This is a very brand new item that I added this year to this ongoing discussion. And the day after the Capitol Hill assault in Washington, D.C., I found I threw myself into a Facebook discussion among the rioters, and I saw this. Well, they said that this kind of plot came from Italy. They said the official document from Italy, Zuckerberg has effectively shut down all the videos that this is telling. Well, and this is offered as an official document, and I tell my students, well, tell me why this cannot be true. Well, why is it fake? How can you tell? Just, for example, this should be a lawyer's official document, but it has no paper, letter, and there are no stamps. And then if you check, these are real names of real people, but it is impossible that they are the responsible for biasing the general election of the President of the United States. And so, of course, this is fake, and I added a picture of a famous movie in Italy of two comedians that tried to sell the Trevi Fountain in Rome to a gullible American tourist, and so. And the explanation, that is very funny as well, of why the previous post, the previous document was a fake, can be read in one of the blogs of this guy, Attivissimo, that explains step by step why that document was a fake. And it is really, really funny to read. And then again, there are some tips and checklist for spotting fake news. This is a checklist, and I also asked them to check the source of images and using fine illustration in Google, some tools that help them focus not only on the text but also on the images that are spread, and students sometimes don't realize that they are infringing the law, the copyright and also privacy, by copying and sharing images, not only text. And then we are talking about biased, one-sided opinions, and then I asked them to talk, to discuss about fake news that they have spotted, that they have detected on their own, but they know that they are fake, but they don't know why. And so we go deeper and try to understand why these fake news are fake. So students get the tools they need to be able to detect more fake news in the future. And the latest threat is the deep fake. Well, this is quite funny because on YouTube you can find very easily these pairs, these awkward pairs, singing together "Video Killed the Radio Star," by the famous song by the Buggles, and well, you know, Hitler and Stalin or Trotsky, well, cannot sing that song. Maybe Boris Johnson and Theresa May could. And then I asked my students as a workshop to imagine what kind of deep fake could be done, for example, taking the video of a politician or a celebrity or a famous person and just changing a few words. This could change history. And so this is an exercise they enjoy doing very much. And then I give them some a very short list, a very handy list of disinformation websites that in Italy is bufale.net, or fake news detectives such as the blog by Attivissimo we mentioned before. And also I asked them to play Bad News, as the previous colleague mentioned. That is a very useful tool that helps students focus on polarization and the use of extreme language that spreading misinformation, disinformation leads to. And so this is basically an activity that, as I said, is aimed at creating awareness about the mechanisms, the algorithms that are used to generate and spread news, especially with social media. And in fact, this year I have used it as a, let's say, background for a project on production of digital content for a digital marketing project together with my colleague of economics. My students are students of a tourism school, and they are from 15 to 19 years old, and I have shared this short discussion, let's say, with all the classes, so from the first form until the fifth form. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
We thank you, and we congratulate you, Stefania, for the inspiring ideas that you presented to us. Just I would like to ask you, could these activities be adapted to younger students?
Of course, there are many, as the previous colleague showed. Of course, you have. In fact, I have to adapt something from the first class to from the first form to the fifth form. This is a general kind of general idea, and I keep changing it. I keep adapting it also according to the activity that follows. If this is in any training project, maybe I reduce some parts. If I have to talk about creating digital content, maybe I add something else about the creation of videos, and so of course you can add and create whatever you want. This is just a basic tool, and let me tell you that I keep updating it because it is very crucial for our students. It's crucial to be more media literate and to develop media literacy.
Thank you so much, and your presentation, as well as all the other ones, will be uploaded in the Creative Classroom group, so you will be able to watch it in your own pace later on. And let's go to Imen Marzouk from Tunisia, who is going to present us two activities in the e-twinning project Green Behavior Code. The first activity is about digital and intellectual rights and responsibilities, and the second one will be focused on digital literacy and misinformation. Imen, the floor is yours. You can open your microphone and your camera, and let us listen what you developed this period.
Yes, hello everyone. Happy to be one of the presenters of the 7th Unconference Creative Classroom. I am Imen Marzouk, an ICT teacher and e-twinning ambassador. My presentation is entitled Green Behavior Code. It's an e-twinning project. The founders of this project are Marika Imais from Romania and me from Tunisia. Also, we have two other partners in this project who are Roberto de la Iglesia from Spain and Maria Pia Borgesen from Italy. Okay, so I will move to the next slide. So I will give you the overview of this project. The Green Behavior Code is an e-twinning project having purpose to make our pupils aware that our behaviors affect deeply and irreparably the environment. They should think about an alternative behaviors more illustrative to the environment. In fact, our purpose is to produce a green behavior code to spread around in the community, families, other schools. The code will be done through Scratch program. Pupils will vote for the best green behavior code. That will be our commitment to protect our environment. For the project aims, at the end of the project, the students will be able to, one, raise awareness about environment and lifestyle, two, promote diversity and make them more appreciative of what they have, three, learn how to program a concrete code, 4. Develop the pupils' coding skills. 5. Develop students' entrepreneurial behavior and attitude. And also train pupils to be active members in civil society. Okay, so as you already know, the annual theme for this year in eTwinning is media literacy and disinformation. So we have already started integrating the annual theme to our activities, talking about 2 topics, digital law and etiquette, and also disinformation. So we will start by the first topic, digital law and etiquette. In fact, a collaborative ebook named Code of Conduct was being created for our students to let them think and write few ground rules to keep our twin space safe for us. And as you can see, we have shared the contributions of the students in the twin board of the page. First, students of Pioneer Middle School of Sfax, Tunisia, think about the rules of digital etiquette, then they write what they are and are not allowed to do while using the internet. Second, okay. So second, Spanish students of Roberto think about the language of the internet, then they write some rules about online privacy, as you can see here. Third, the Italian students of Maria Pia drew illustrated posters about etiquette and cyber ethics. The posters were written in Italian language. Then Maria Pia converted them to English ones. Okay, sorry. I go to the current slide. And fourth, Romanian students of MAIS complete our collaborative work by sharing their ideas of appropriate digital law and etiquette. Finally, we have organized an online students meeting at 8 February 2021 to celebrate the Safer Internet Day 2021 live by presenting our code of conduct created collaboratively. And these photos are taken in our classrooms for the Spanish, Italian, and Tunisian students, and online session for the Romanian students. So these photos are taken while the live event with all the students of the project. So in the live event, we have made 2 activities. The first one is to present our code of conduct. And the second activity is to play a word wall game about digital law and etiquette between all the students. Through this game, the students learn how to conduct oneself online as essential to becoming a successful 21st century citizen. As educators, we have an obligation to teach digital etiquette to our students. As a first dissemination to our work in the project, I have presented our participation in Safer Internet Day through a Tunisian national webinar organized by my NSO, Tunisia. This is for the first topic. For the second topic, we have made some activity about disinformation. In fact, our students are working on disinformation through collaborative activity. In fact, the activity aims at sharing with the partner strategies to analyze images in order to develop our students' critical thinking skills, enhance their observation and interpretive skills as a way to raise media literate learners about to access the content in their feed. First step that we have done is that we have divided our students into international teams according to their scratch presentation, talking about their hobbies and ambitions. Then, after constructing the teams, sorry, I will go Yes. So then after constructing the teams, which are 9 teams, we created forums, a forum per team to discuss, think, brainstorm about their Scratch codes to be done later. But before starting coding, we have chosen 9 non-real stories related to the nature, environment, and we have put them in the forums. 1 non-real story per team. For example, for team 1, we have shared with them the following image, and we have put this message for them. I have write for this team, hello team 1, before starting coding, we need you to focus on this image and tell us if it is true or fake news with justification. We mean that the student have to put the real link if it is a fake story. So this small activity is to learn about media literacy, and it helps you as students acknowledge the benefits of digital communities and resources while guiding you to successfully navigate potential pitfalls in your digital lives. And as you can see here, the members of this team see the image, question, think, feel, and then write their prepositions. The same thing for the team 4. We have put a fake image, and we have write a message for this team to focus and to brainstorm about this story, if it is real or fake. And the members of this team, team 4, see the image, see the story, question, and try to think about if it is real or fake. The same thing for team 9. We have made a fake image, and the members of this team write their proposition, write their opinions about this story. Okay, so in fact, this activity unleashes students' critical thinking skills through images potential through this e-twinning activity. Okay, so I will go to the last slide, sorry. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my presentation and our students' work. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Iman, for being here and present to all of us the activities that you develop with your students and your partners from several countries in e-twinning. So this, in this place, in this time, in this moment, the first part of the 7th Creative Classroom conference dedicated on media literacy and disinformation is finished. It's time for lunch, although we extended for half an hour. You can leave your computer on, and you can stay here as a participant. You can have lunch and come back at 2 o'clock. We will be here for the second part of the 7th Creative Classroom Group and Conference with interesting presentations and, of course, a game and some other things that they will be a surprise for you. So I would like to thank you for being here. It's a break, lunch break time.